Morning, guys. It's time, finally, to move on from Sonora. And we're going to Angels Camp. And Angels Camp is a 21 mile, the GPS says 21 mile walk, but it's more like, I'd probably say like 19 or 20, because usually when I put a town into the GPS, it puts the dot at the center of town, like my destination at the center of town. So I'm not trying to get to the center of town, I'm just trying to get to at least the outskirts so I can set up camp for the night and sleep. And I'm gonna try my hardest to get there no later than 6 p.m. because 6 p.m. it'll have just been dark for maybe 30 minutes. And yeah, I'm gonna go do my morning stuff, pack up my camp here. Well, pack up camp first, go do my morning stuff, and then we're gonna head out. Oh, and there's also a bridge apparently, or a ferry. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there, but because that's quite a while away, honestly. So yeah, see you on the road.
Hey, and we're off. I feel like my backpack fits a little better now. I think it definitely helps that I have less stuff than I did when I came here. But it is like I think 11 o'clock now in the morning, which is about an hour later than the absolute latest I wanted to leave, but it just took a little longer to get everything together than I expected. Plus I stopped and took some time to waterproof the floor of my tent again, because there was some really bad rain for like a whole week here, and it just, like, my tent didn't leak. There were no like holes or unseamed portions. It's just a puddle formed under my tent no matter what I did, and the water just seeped through. So yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna get going. I gotta focus and make up for that lost time. So if I see anything interesting though, you'll get to see it too. Okay, I found my stride again. This backpack still sucks to carry, sorry. But it's definitely a lot more doable. Like, I haven't needed to take a break yet, and usually I've only gone like 2 miles for the record. Usually after like a mile, I'm like, all right, I need to sit down and readjust this thing. So that's a good sign. But again, it still sucks lugging this thing. Oh, fuck. But I'm getting stronger. I've definitely gotten stronger. Even though I was in Sonora for like a month and a half, I was walking consistently every day, doing stuff to make money, and I wasn't panhandling, don't worry. I wasn't being a complete bum. I was playing Pokemon Go, and I actually decided to walk. Like, ooh, that's pretty. I'm gonna get a shot of that. Hold on. Yeah, look at that. That's really nice. A lot of old abandoned buildings like that though, just kind of out in the, like, just on its own. Anyways, yeah, I was walking really consistently. Like, every day I was walking. I think I spent in total 2 days out of that month and a half where I was just in my tent all day, you know? There's a lot more to do here than in Soulsbyville. Like, I went to the Starbucks, and I used their Wi-Fi to play games and stuff on my phone, and like watch movies and whatnot. And they didn't care I was there. Like, I bought a drink on occasion. There's a Walmart shopping cart down there. I bought a drink on occasion, you know, just because I didn't want them to kick me out for loitering. But sorry, that sun is at like the bad spot. But they were cool with it. I stayed there once from like noon all the way till they closed at 8 p.m. But I was like, I got nothing else to do. And where I camped has a really crappy connection for my data. So you know, I also hung out at the McDonald's a lot. I'm sorry about this one, guys. But you know what? I'll continue this when I'm not right next to a busy road and there isn't the sun right in the camera lens. I've never been to this part of Sonora. Sorry, never been to this part of Sonora before, so figure it's new to me. It's gonna be new to you. I may as well share it. It's weird because this almost looks like a Southern California town. It's kind of weird. It looks very mountainous and not like that up in Soulsbyville. And even in West Sonora, or sorry, East Sonora, it didn't look like that. So that's interesting. Just how, like, I've only gone, like I said, it's been 2.5 miles now. I just checked the GPS actually. It's funny because I guessed at the 2 miles. I really did go 2 miles. I think I've gotten better at this, guys. 2 miles was a slog. I remember my first day, I barely made it 3 miles. But yeah, onward. Sorry, I'm not really good at keeping my train of thought when I'm focused on, you know, going forward and whatnot too. But you'll probably see a few more little clips here and there, just kind of showing things off, and then I'll talk to you guys again when I stop to take a break. I don't know why, but this spot reminds me of Outriders, like the first, maybe not the first area you go to, but there's this chick named Jane who gets fucking murked. She's supposed to be like your super special sniper. This area kind of reminds me of that. 16 miles to Angels Camp. That's 5 miles down. Kill me now. So I am here in Angels Camp. I got really lucky actually, and I got a hitch part of the way. There's this nice guy named Jim. He gave me a ride. Really nice town. The best part is I have a really strong signal for my phone out here. So, I don't know what time it is right now. It's like, it can only be maybe 2-3 hours till dark tops, but now I guess the goal is to just find a place to camp out, because, sorry, hold that a bit close. I'm trying to block the sun again, because that's still an issue. Yeah. There's a couple stores here. I think there's like a Save Mart or a Safeway or something, like a Rayleigh's or something here, so I can do a little bit of work, make some money. Oh, and the guy Jim gave me like 10 bucks, I think. Definitely appreciate that. I think he didn't have to do that. You know, he didn't have to give me a ride either, but he's a 74-year-old retired pilot. I believe he's retired. And ooh, hold on, I'm gonna skip forward. We're gonna go into a shadier spot. Okay, that's better. Yeah, no, Jim. 74-year-old ex-pilot. He used to fly, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. It was a Cessna something. 334? Cessna 334? But that was one of the planes he flew. He used to do the flying specifically, not for an airliner, but if there was like a big wildfire, he would fly up there, scout it out, right? And they would give the coordinates for the guys who would shoot the extinguishing whatever fluid at the fire, so that they knew how to fire it and, you know, get the best way to put the fire out there. So I'm gonna use this chance. I'm gonna be walking around town for a while, just checking it out, and I'm gonna try to find a place to camp. He did warn me, and he said that the cops here are not the nicest. They're really mean. So I'm gonna be careful of that, and I'm just gonna have to hope for the best, you know. So yeah, we'll do some, I guess I'll try to get some shots of the town while I'm looking around, and I'll see you when I set up camp. This is like a real old style town. Mark Twain's a real big thing out here. But in my case, I'm actually looking for well, not looking, I have it on my GPS, but I'm going to the Starbucks here. I want to sit down and relax, because even though I got a hitch, I still walked a shit ton. Whew. You can pan for gold here. Gold spot price. Gold panning tours. Yummy haha ice cream. Oh crap. An old ass post office. I guess this is the old town. I think that's what Jim said. This is Old Town Angels Camp. So, yeah. He's a nice guy. He really didn't have to take me out as far as he did, but he did it anyways. Alright. It's a Starbucks. So I know I just said it's a Starbucks, but I just saw that sign over there. I don't know if it shows up or I can't see my screen. Free internet Wi-Fi hotspot. That's just part of the town. That's not like a Starbucks thing, apparently. Oh, that's cool. Danielle would like a picture of that, I think. Hey guys, so it's the next day. I'm in Angels Camp, and hey guys, so it is the next day, and I'm in Angels Camp. I was gonna stay here for 4 days initially. But I don't like the vibe of this place. There was things I wanted to see. There was a museum here, and there was like a couple little interesting historical bits. I got some pictures, so I mean, I'll put those up just kind of at the end of the video, just to share them. But I don't know. There's something about the town I just don't like it. So I'm leaving tomorrow morning instead of staying another couple days. And we're just going to go straight for San Andreas. There's 2 different routes I can take to San Andreas. One is apparently about 10 miles of walk. The other one is 16. However, the 10-mile one does require that I go and walk along one of the highways for just a little while, and then it'll turn off onto a more secluded road. And then the 16-mile one is the much safer. Just overall, there's no highway walking as far as I can tell. But there's going to be a lot of just out in the middle of nowhere, like people's ranches and farms are going to be around. And I'm not 100% sure which one I'm going to take yet, but I'm leaning on the 10-miler just because it's, 6 miles less walking. But I guess we'll see. I'll know tomorrow what I'm going to do. I'm probably, though, most likely taking the 10-mile route because that's actually also the closer route to me overall. So, how many other updates? So I wanted to be a bit clearer on the whole, like, the hitchhike thing, because I feel like I didn't really articulate that very well, just because I was trying to figure shit out at the time, like where I was going to camp, and so this guy named Jim is an older man. I think he said he was 74, ex-pilot. He's been around the world, not even just because he's a pilot, but also just because he likes to go and check out different places. He lived in France for over a decade. He's been to Spain. He's been to, I think it's in Morocco. Was it Morocco? Yeah, Mexico. Plenty of other places. And kind of a funny story was he actually was stuck outside of the country because the COVID lockdowns hit, like, I think a day or two after he was out of country, and then his passport expired while he was out there, but they were cool about it. They let him back in once the restrictions were lifted. But that was an interesting story. And he wasn't an airline pilot. I think I did say that too. He worked in Colombia, just over here. Colombia is like 10 miles away from Angels Camp, just back south. And he flew, what was it? It was a Cessna. I feel like I think I said the plane before. It was a Cessna 334 or a 337 or something like that. But what he did was he flew the plane, and he would have someone with them, and they would give coordinates to the guys who dealt with the extinguishing of the fire. And so I thought that was pretty cool. As a pilot, like all his life, he likes going on hikes, going along the trails, hiking, biking, all that stuff. Very active guy. And he saw me walking on the side of the highway, and he was telling me after he picked me up, he's like, hey, I really like seeing guys with backpacks, just going for it, hiking, going out for an adventure. So that's why he came and picked me up. But he was also telling me, like, and I saw this when we were driving to Angels Camp. He was like, this highway can get very dangerous. Hikers and bikers have died on this road before because there's parts where it gets sketchy. And I saw what he was talking about. There's parts where the road not only gets really narrow, but there's nothing on the sides of the road. You're either on the road or you're like trying to go into the side of like the hill or the mountain. And it was a case of, I'm really glad I got a hitch. But that didn't stop me from having to walk another 7 miles around town just to find a place to camp. And even now where I am camped, most people don't really bother me. I have had people come up here because like there's some houses right here. So let me paint the scene for you. There's this road here. It's not really an alley. It's just like a gravelly dirt road. And then there's fence lining, and then there's houses on the other side. And I've had people, people have gates to the fence here where they come out and they'll go down the road and they'll just go to the Save Mart because the Save Mart's right down the road. But there was one guy last night who came by, and I don't know if he just didn't notice my tent at first, but he just walked right by when he was leaving his house and going out the gate. And then when he came back, he started like coming to my tent and flashing the light on it. And I was like watching him. I was awake, and I made sure all my lights were off because I was on my phone, and I was just dead quiet. And I was just gonna wait and see if he like tried to open up the tent or something, and he didn't. He ended up just going back to the gate, and he was trying to unlock it. But I could tell he was kind of like I think he was nervous because he kept flashing the light around him, and I could tell all this without having to look outside my tent just by the way the light was moving. He was trying to unlock the lock on his gate and get in, and he was kind of struggling with it. And I could see the light moving around him on occasion, and like sometimes double checking back on my tent, I guess, making sure I don't fucking come out of it and try to stab him in the back. I don't know, but yeah. And then the next morning, or this morning, I should say. So the next morning, but this morning, I was packing up my stuff because I'm not trying to do this. Like in Sonora, I had my stuff spread out all over the fucking place. This time I'm trying to keep things enclosed in my pack, so if I had to make a quick retreat, I could do that. And when I was packing everything up in my pack inside my tent, I heard what I'm assuming is a couple walking by down the road, and the woman was talking about how she saw my tent here, and it's been here all day. And all day at this point was, I think, like 8:30 in the morning tops. And I want to note that I didn't actually get to set up my tent until like 5 p.m. last night. It was dark. Like, it was just on the cusp of being dark when I set up. So I thought that was kind of funny. But I don't like how, like, people are snooping and whatnot around my tent. Like, I get it, they're wary probably because it's like, what the hell is this tent doing here now suddenly, like right behind all of our houses? But it just makes me kind of nervous, you know. And I figured this would be fine because just down the road I found I guess there's two guys, but it's like the one homeless guy in the whole fucking town. And they got like a whole tent set up and with the tarp over it, and then they had like crates or something to make it a little bit bigger where they have food storage. And they got a fire pit. They got like a whole setup over there. It's actually pretty impressive. But I figured, okay, well, I see them. Nobody's bothered them. So this must be a decent spot where nobody's going to pester me, really. And nobody's really pestered me, but I've had curious lookers, you know. Nobody's seen me yet, but they have been checking out my tent. Sonora, I didn't really have that issue because I was just so out of the way. But I've actually had to come back and just check on my tent throughout the day as I was doing my stuff and just making sure nobody stole anything. And yeah. On another note, there's a laundromat here, which I didn't know about because it does not show up on Google Maps. It is the cleanest and nicest laundromat I have ever seen, and it's just all the washers and dryers look brand new and clean and shiny. The floor is clearly mopped and well kept. Everything just looks really nice. And maybe that's why it's not on Google Maps, because if everybody knew about it, I don't know. But I was able to wash my clothes, and the most important thing is I washed my sleeping bag. It really needed it. I have not actually washed this thing once since I got it. And let me tell you, when I got this thing, before I washed it, it looked like I just needed to get a new sleeping bag. It was like dirty and raggedy, and it had like no loft left in it. And then I washed it, and when it came out, it looked brand new, like I just bought the thing. So pretty happy about that. Plus I got to wash my clothes. My clothes stink pretty bad, but I figured, okay, I'm just gonna have to deal with it until I can get to San Andreas, where they do have a laundromat on the map. But yeah, and as it turns out, I was camped. It's like right over here. Like I'm right next to everything where I'm camped. Like McDonald's, Starbucks, I can use their Wi-Fi because they're right down the street. Save Mart's here, so I can make some money. Laundromat was here, I could do clothes. Post office is like 0.2 miles that way, so I was able to ship some stuff back to my buddy's place so I can lighten my load. It's just stuff I didn't use, and also a book I finished reading. It's an interesting town, though. I'll say that this used to be a gold mining town, thus it being called Angel's Camp, which I guess I didn't think about that, but like I would say a lot of the time, if not every time, a town in California is called camp, it's probably because it was a gold mining camp at one time. So yeah, they have like gold mining tours, or gold panning tours, things like that. It's really interesting. There was a museum here I wanted to check out, but that's probably not going to happen, just because I do want to get moving on to San Andreas tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. That's my update for today, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning when we head out for San Andreas.